And now we will try again to connect with the Indonesian ambassador to Sweden, His Excellency KAMAPRADIPTA ISNOMO, to hear more about the case of the burning of Quran in Sweden last week by Danish politician, which is causing chaos. Yes, I guess we're connected now. Your Excellency, our apologies. There was the technical difficulties.
My apologies for the connection.
Yes.
But if I may just pick up where I left off earlier.
Yes, yes, please continue.
Rasmus Paludan, the Danish politician, ever since he instigated and incited these unfortunate acts that took place in Sweden over the Easter holidays, Mr. Paludan did in fact lodged and submitted similar requests to the police to conduct similar incitements, which is scheduled on the 1st of May. But what we have received as of today is that the police have rejected this submission by Rasmus Paludan to commit similar acts, as he has planned to do similar incidents and similar acts of burning the Quran scheduled to take place in the 1st of May. So he did in fact submitted a request to conduct a series of activities in 6 different cities in Sweden, throughout Sweden, and this was scheduled to take place on the 1st of May. However, the police of Sweden decided to reject this submission and also requests by Paludan to perform similar activities as he did over the Easter holidays.
So, what about the situation there? Is it now peaceful, or there are still turmoil or maybe protesting due to the burning of the Quran last week?
The situation is relatively calm. I think a lot of social figures and also religious leaders played a very important role to calm the situation down. Yes. Even many politicians, many media, they really have played down the acts that was perpetrated and committed by Rasmus Paludan. We need to remember that Rasmus Paludan is a 3rd-rated politician in Denmark, which has over the years failed to secure a seat in the Danish parliament. Now that he has acquired 2 citizenship, Swedish citizenship, due to the fact that his father is a Swedish citizen, he has made an attempt to gain his popularity in Sweden by doing the things that he has been doing all this time, which is burning the Quran and campaigning about anti-immigration and anti-Islam. And I think this has been received negatively in Sweden. I'm sure there are some supporters of him here in Sweden, but I would say the overwhelming majority of Swedish society here views his act as something that is going against the basic value of mainstream Swedish norms and principles.
Yes, and very upsetting. So there hasn't been any escalating clashes after the incident? Okay. So what are
that hasn't.
Yes. What are the embassy's advice to Indonesians residing in Sweden? Are there any indication of people taking part in the protests? I mean the Indonesians?
When the incident occurred, yes. When the incident occurred from 14th to 16th, we have made a very proactive reaching out to all the Indonesian societies and also diaspora here in Sweden. We have approximately 1,600 Indonesian citizens and diaspora residing in Sweden, in which 200 of them are students. We, the embassy, have been reaching out to them to essentially not to be provoked by his shameful acts and deeds, and also not to be involved in demonstrations or counter demonstrations which may potentially breach local Swedish laws here. And we have been doing that since day one, since 14th of April, and we've been doing that up until now. In fact, through many activities that has been conducted by the embassy together with our community here, my colleagues and I have over and over again repeated our calls not to be provoked, not to be easily provoked by his acts, and also to remain respectful to the Swedish rules and regulations.
Mm-hmm. And what are the steps that the embassy been taking to protect Indonesians there?
First and foremost, we have been calling them. As you know, there are what we call a contact person of Indonesian communities throughout the cities of Sweden. And that also includes members of the Indonesian Student Society. So what we have done is we have contacted them one by one. We have reached out to them over the social media, over the phone, over the Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and essentially asking them not to be provoked and to continue to perform their daily activities, either going to campus, either going to work, and to perform whatever they have been doing, and to look at this incident as something that should not be provoked by them.
Okay, so Mr. ISNOMO, how was the Swedish government responding to such act and its stance towards freedom of speech?
Yes, as you know, Sweden is a very old democracy. Yes. They have been a democracy since 100 years. They do respect fundamental human rights and also other basic rights in accordance to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, as well as all existing human rights conventions. For Sweden, freedom of expression, freedom of speech is something that the Swedish government and the people respect and holds dearly. However, this does not mean or imply that they are condoning the acts of RASMUS PALUDAN. On this case, of course, all Swedish citizens have the right to perform and to practice their freedom of speech and expression, which has been performed and practiced by RASMUS PALUDAN, unfortunately, which have caused a lot of destruction and also riots. But this time around, as I said, RASMUS PALUDAN has submitted similar request. However, this request this time around has been rejected by the police on the grounds that number one, the fact that he submitted 1 week before was, in terms of period, a bit too short, and secondly, the activities that will be conducted by Magnus PALUDAN has the potential to incite more hatred and more violence in the streets of Sweden. And number three, his acts and demonstration may also potentially incur many public liabilities and also destructions, which may cause a lot of damages and incur a lot of costs within not only the Swedish society, but also the Swedish government. Yes. And also city councils.
Okay, Mr. KAMAPRADIPTA ISNOMO, Your Excellency, thank you for joining us on Focus today, this afternoon.
Thank you, and thank you for having me.
Yes.